This is Can We Just Talk, the podcast and YouTube series where it doesn't matter if you're living under a rock. We'll fill you in on the past week's biggest, weirdest, and most impactful stories, headlines, and developments in a nice casual conversation. Set your volume and settle in, because coming to you from a random basement in New Jersey, this is Can We Just Talk. Welcome in another edition here on Can We Just Talk. Troy DiSavino, Jacob Berg, Austin DiSavino, Richie Welbrock, Chris Sakonis. We've got a brand spanking new episode to get going on. Guys, how are we all doing today?
I'm doing great, Troy. Thank you so much for asking. It's a pleasure being on your show.
Living the life, baby.
I'll wait. Like I said,
sorry, go ahead.
Mind, someone else can go.
All right, yeah. Chris, making your big return. It's been like 3 weeks for you, so we appreciate you making your way back.
And everything changed. We're on like a completely different platform. There's this app called Telegram I've never heard of that all of a sudden became a thing. Yeah, a lot has changed.
You're making
Chris, you used to send telegrams back in the day, right?
I had a challenge tonight to not make fun of Chris, but when we start out on Chris and new technology, it's going to be very tough. So I haven't broken it yet, but we'll see how long I can go. Jacob, thank you for making it back to another episode. I appreciate it. This is your 16th episode in a row. You've got the perfect attendance record, so I congratulate you on that. So awesome. Well, guys, Austin, thank you.
Thanks for asking.
Thanks. Well, you started talking when Richie was talking.
Can I just say something? Chris, I'm surprised you're not more into the Telegram app. The logo is actually a paper airplane.
Listen, I only go for the real shit. Don't give me any paper airplanes. Like I'm not down with that.
Oh god.
I bet if I made a paper airplane and you made one, mine would go further.
To be honest, Richie, when you started with that, I was really wondering where you're going with this. But I see how you pulled through, and I like it. We started off, we made fun of Chris for technology. We made fun of him for his planes. We kind of ran out of content, so we'll have to see how far we can get.
Trains now.
Well, trains too. All right, guys, on the agenda for tonight, I want to Jacob, you have something to say before we get going?
Nah, let's get it.
Okay, cool. Well, we've got an interesting topic at the front end, and I can say we have grown one person larger with our following of Apple products. Chris, you are the sole person here who's not deeply in love with Apple's merchandise. So, interesting story coming out this week. Apple has announced, well, there's rumors of Apple announcing this, their first headset, their first AR VR headset. This is really big news for me, who tried out virtual reality for the first time, thought it was one of the coolest experiences of my life. But now Apple's trying to make waves in this. We've seen them enter other places before. We've seen how well they perform. When they enter new markets, they enter with new products. You know, the invention of the Apple Watch, how they kind of took over the smart tech, the smart wearable tech industry. The Apple Pencil, everyone made fun of it first. And now if you have an iPad, it's like the coolest tool you can have with it.
They should still make fun of it.
It's now I have a pencil grip for my Apple Pencil. So it's a great product. I will say that. But yeah, Apple's trying to make waves in the AR VR industry. And if I am Oculus, I'd be terrified. Apple has shown what they're capable of doing in the past. They've shown how they can take over a market, and I think this is a really big announcement. Chris, I want to get your first thoughts on this because I know you're not an Apple guy. Let me hear your thoughts on this if you want to give me your spiel on technology and what Apple's doing here.
Yeah, well, I think that, first off, I'm kind of disappointed that virtual reality isn't like more mainstream already. And, hopefully a company like Apple that has, revolutionized so much of the technology that we use day to day now. Hopefully they're like the catalyst to bring that forward. Yeah, I've never tried virtual reality. I mean, it seems awesome. And, if Apple puts as much energy into this as they did into like, the iPhone or the iPod back when that came out, I think that it could be a really, really successful product.
Absolutely. Richie, you have an Oculus. Tell me your thoughts. First of all, what the experience is like with VR. And then on top of that, are you worried that your Oculus is going to be put out of business because of what Apple's doing?
No, I'm not really worried at all. I was very graciously let borrow the Oculus I currently have now. It's a lot of fun. A lot of 9-year-olds play the game. A lot of really toxic people on there, actually. But I think it's really fun. I hope that Apple can make a better one, honestly. I mean, I think the technology is just going to get bigger and better as it has for everything else. And actually, I've seen a lot of aftermarket attachments that you can get for the Oculus, specifically for like eye things that are like softer and like drown out more light. So, I mean, the industry's already getting better. So far, I haven't played anything very cool, really just paintball, you know?
I know.
Troy, you really
fun.
like that one? You were very
I thought
good
it
at
was, to be honest, I thought it was one of the coolest like gaming experiences of my life. And it was like, keep in mind, it's not like I'm playing like a really incredible like graphic game. It's like you're running around as like a little stickman cartoon. But the fact that I can just pick stuff up with my hands is crazy. Now you might say, why don't I just go into reality and like pick things up with my hand? But it's a new frontier. It's a cool thing to experience.
You know how much money it costs to play paintball one time
you
in reality?
Get paint on your shirt, Troy.
It's a good point. It's a good point. I mean, it's one of the things that comes with virtual reality. Austin, thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think I disagree, Chris. I don't think we should be further along than where we are, because I think where we are is incredible compared to where we were, right? So I remember being at a trade show or an advertising show in 2014 when Oculus was like first coming out, and they had a machine and you could see what the people were seeing, but you had to stand in a little circle and hold onto a rail, and the world moved around you. And now watching Troy and listening to Richie like yell at little kids, it's crazy because you can interact with the world, you can have your hands going. And I think Apple gets a lot of love, but I think Apple also gets a lot of credit it shouldn't for being leaders. Apple does things very well, but it doesn't do things first very well. And I think there's a big difference there. Like a lot of the stuff that Apple rolls out is existing technology, but they perfect it. So they do it better than everyone else, but they wait for the Androids to do it. They wait for the Googles to do it. They wait for others to do it. And I like Apple. I'm an Apple user. I'm on a Mac. I have a phone. My wife has an Apple Watch. Like, I like Apple, but it's annoying the amount of praise they get for being cutting edge, and like miss me with the Apple Pencil like that. That's that goes right along with
product.
That's great and all, but it's a little bit self-glorification, and like it's a little just too much.
It's
like,
not self-glorification.
Get over yourself.
They're not
very nice.
What, they can't make a stylus?
How much did it cost?
Nice. $99.
Yeah,
$99. They're not even shipping the new phones out with chargers. Like, are you kidding me?
What should this pencil be priced at for what it's capable of doing? And by the way, there's a lot of other brands doing exactly what the Apple Pencil's doing, so they are a leader in this field.
Apple juice Kool-Aid, bro. That's fine. That's fine. You have to recognize for what it is. I think it's the easiest technology to use. I think it's the best technology to use. But the over glorification and of Apple is just
Who's glorified it? Who's glorified it?
Mr. Troy DiSavino has.
Define glorifying.
Just talking about it as if it's the best. I'm not saying the Apple Pencil isn't amazing. It's just ridiculous. It's a stylus. It's not a pencil.
No, it is. It's not a stylus. It's not, because you can
write on paper.
No, it's not a stylus because it has a lot more detail than just using a stylus.
So this isn't a phone then. So this
you can have line depth, line transparency, brush effects.
It's a smartphone.
Well, this isn't a computer. It can be a camera. Like, get over yourself, Apple. You made a stylus that works better than all the other ones, but you don't get to rename it. Like,
it's not a stylus. It is not a stylus.
It's not just a stylus. Is like I can use a banana as a stylus on my freaking Snapchat and draw a pretty picture.
Dude,
it
a Ferrari is a car, and so is a Honda Civic, but they do different things. They're both still a car, though.
Yeah, but a Ferrari works much better than a Honda Civic.
Just exactly, but you don't see Ferrari being like, we have Ferrari.
No, they do. They're like, we are a supercar. We are a supercar, not a car. We are a luxury car.
It's
not a Ferrari.
A super stylus. It's not a pencil. It's
if anything, saying it's a pencil is like taking it down a notch than saying it's a super stylus.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like less
it's like
glorifying.
It's too much self-glorification. Apple, the only person Apple loves is Apple. Like, get over it. Like, make good products. Go do better things with your technology and make it more affordable to people that need technology.
How do you?
No, Apple does a lot of good things.
How do you want us to not poke fun at you when you say these things? I don't understand how you want us to like not react to this.
Before we went live, Austin said to all of us, "Please, guys, don't make fun of me. I don't think I can take another call like this. I don't think we can go live anymore if you guys are just gonna bully me."
Sure.
And Chris was like, "They're mean to me a lot more, and I'm fine."
Chris hasn't been on the show in like 2 weeks, so we had to be mean to somebody, and Austin's taking that place.
Look. Can I make a case here?
Yeah, and then Jacob gets to talk.
First of all, I love the light source being behind you, Richie. That's a great call. It's just having the light source be behind you. Richie's like,
I like to look like Darth Maul.
Complaining. But the other thing too is like, and I like to pull the curtain back a little bit. I shouldn't have to explain to you guys the character I'm playing. Troy, Chris, you've listened to the Lebitard show enough. I'm trying to play a character here to help create content. I'm trying to do that, and you guys aren't working with me right. You're like, what? Like trying to attack me. Like,
well, you're supposed to get a reaction. What do you want us to do? Agree with you on this?
Yes. Tell me I'm right.
You're not right. You're not right. Jacob, go ahead.
Old men are not allowed to work out.
Go ahead, Jacob. Your turn.
So I'm going to piggyback a little bit off what Austin is saying. I do think he's right in the fact that, Apple takes kind of existing technologies, perfects them, brings them to a wider customer base. So I'm kind of excited to see them do that with VR. I think with the Oculus and, with the PlayStation VR, it's already starting to really enter the market. And I'd really like to see some of the games that are being played on VR get like further developed into games that you can play for longer periods of time. Because as of now, I think they're kind of closer to phone games where the like use time isn't as similar. So yeah, I do think that's pretty cool, and I'm excited to see that. One thing that I thought was really interesting that I saw in the article is that they were planning on taking this step into VR to start to get it normalized, and then in the future put out an augmented reality device. And I think that that's a little tougher. I thought that, Google Glass came out, I guess, a couple years ago now. I honestly thought it was really cool when it came out, but the price point was way too high. And I think, from how the critics view it now, I think they'd say that Google Glass was a failure when it released. So I would be really interested to see if Apple can kind of pull off this revitalization of AR, augmented reality glasses.
My boy Bobby, he's watching for us right now. I know he's got Apple as well. And Jacob, it's a great point because we'll have to see how this really develops because this has been a failure in many other ways. People have failed trying to do this already. So we'll see if Apple can handle it. And, Bobby shared with us, he says they're objectively inferior. There's always those better products out there, but just like millions of other people, he prefers them. And he'll always buy them. And you know why? Because they are much simpler. They are easy to use. And for that reason, that's why you saw Bernie Sanders out there work on his iPhone, because even Bernie Sanders
likes the big crayons. They're much easier to use.
Even Bernie could make the iPhone work. I'm telling you, there's something about the simplicity and the ease of access that people will love. And guess what? VR is a daunting new thing to enter. People are going to be hesitant to try it out for the first time. But if you put an Apple brand on it, it's saying like, hey, let's try this out. We made it really simple for you to get into, dip your feet in first, try it out, test the waters. Apple's the brand to bring something to market and make it a lot bigger. The iPhone is what made the smartphone as big as it is today. They're the ones who brought that into the market. They made it accessible to everyone. If AR and VR wants to become something that is accessible to everyone, even though the Oculus is very cheap right now for what it's capable of doing, Apple is the company to bring it to the next level, to push the market and to make it accessible to everyone. And for that reason, just like everything else, and just like Bobby's saying, that's why people always buy Apple products. They're easy to use. And guess what? The fact that they have an Apple store really helps because there's always people who have tech questions, and then there's always somewhere to go to get it figured out. And that's why I like Apple. And I think,
oh my gosh, get over that. Come on now. I'm so tired of that argument.
So, but I don't know who this person is. but I think it's a burner. I think it's a burner.
No, let's
because
go.
this is what real fans of this show say. Austin is absolutely mad because he doesn't have an Apple Pencil. He's jealous. He hates it because he ain't it.
Apple Pencil. What do I need an Apple Pencil for?
Well, you got to get an iPad first. You don't even have that.
I don't know
I'm
who
a
this.
29-year-old man with a 30-year mortgage and a big fat dog that shits everywhere.
Just like Joe Biden's too old to exercise, you're too old to be creative.
No, you take my words and you twist them. Joe Biden's not too old to exercise. Biden.
I saw a post on Instagram saying otherwise. I don't know what to tell you, Austin.
That was the Deep Fried Medicine account. No one can prove who runs that. It might be me. I don't know. It's not me though. But I do want to say, like, in all reality, I have no doubt when Apple comes out with this, it's gonna blow everything out of the water. Like I said, Apple does everything better than everyone else. They just don't do it first. They wait to see what everyone else does, and then they do it better.
Also, another good point here about Apple. Our grandmother, she's on a first name basis with Apple employees. So, like, they know they're there to help when you need the help, and listen, they're able to do it. But I'm happy to see, we've got some great feedback from the people watching. So please feel free to put in more. Bobby, we're gonna have to get you on an episode. I didn't know you were watching tonight, so we'll get you on one soon.
What about Gary and Sammy?
Sammy's been on once, and Gary we'll see about. We'll see. But interesting fact. What's that?
With that profile picture, he's got a face for podcasts. Put that up there again.
You have the same last name.
No,
all
my
right.
last name's Ribs.
Any final thoughts on this one? Anyone's got anything before we move on? Are you pro? I think the only person anti-Apple somehow, even though Chris is Android, is Austin.
I'm not anti-Apple. See, you twist my words. Just because I apply minutia to things and point out.
You got to tell someone who's the producer then, because they say that you hate Apple on the bottom ticker.
Don't bow at the altar of Apple. I appreciate the products they put out, but I'm not some plebe that's just going to be like, anything Apple does, I'm going to line up and give all my hard-earned American cash away.
I had one thing to add for you, Troy. I think it's going to be interesting just seeing off the article. It looked like it was going to have a pretty high price point on this device. I think that in general, Apple tends to hold even with some of the, the premium level devices. Like, you're not going to find too much of a price difference between, Apple's top of the line phones and similar things from Samsung. Maybe it'll be a little bit more, but the article I think was saying that it could be up to like over $1,000 to get a VR headset. And I think that, in order to really convince the market, they're going to have to think of some better games, some better uses than what the Oculus has right now.
And we didn't include this in the conversation because the reason that the higher price point is there right now has to do with what they want it to become, not just a VR headset. There's talk about what they're able to do with this could replace the iPhone completely. It could take the physical phone out of your pocket to a point where it's not a big clunky VR headset. It's more like Jacob, I think it was you saying it before, the Google Glass. You wear it and it becomes an iPhone in itself. It acts as a phone. So no longer are you carrying around a phone in itself. If that's the case, I don't know if I'm there yet where I want to have to be wearing something all the time.
You will be.
But eventually I will be, because
look
that's
at your
just the
wrist,
trend.
buddy. Look at your wrist.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be similar to how they treated the Apple Watch, how they've treated some of the other Apple devices, where it won't entirely replace the phone, but it'll be something where, like, all right, I'm wearing my glasses today. I don't have to bring my phone with me because it's just all there.
And then Nick Brazina said this. He's got a Steelers logo. I don't know if he saw, but
that's what I was asses came out of very incredible scores with that logo.
Yeah, they got
baseball. He needs to catch that L.
They got their asses whooped up on a little bit a while ago. So I don't know if he would really. If he's saying Android is the master race, it looks like he picks the losing sides. So I don't know if that's a good idea, but I don't know. He can join in a little bit later if he wants. But guys, I want to slide over. We have a really. I don't know if it's funny. I think it's kind of funny. A Georgia teen was charged with stealing nearly $1 million from Kroger supermarket where he worked. So this is the story coming from CBS News. A suburban Atlanta teenager has been arrested on charges that he defrauded a supermarket where he worked of nearly $1 million over a 2-week period. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports a 19-year-old Trey Brown was arrested Thursday by Gwinnett County detectives on charge of felony theft. He was released from jail on an $11,200 bail. So how it worked was Gwinnett County Police spokesman Corporal Colin Flynn said Brown stole more than $980,000 over 2 weeks in December and January by fabricating more than 40 returns for non-existent items. I want to get your thoughts on this. And second of all, I want to just say, like, how do you return almost $1 million worth of things from a grocery store in 2 weeks? That is a lot.
Can I just jump in and then I'll shut up because I know I can ramble here. This is it's funny, but it's also sad, right? Because it's sad that someone is arrested and it was illegal and, you know, like someone's going to jail. Like, it's sad. But in the article it says, you know, there was a way to like get cash from returns, but I guess they were just like taking the cash themselves. But cash from returns ranging in value from $75 to more than $87,000. So this guy was like, yo, $75 worked. Hold on. Let me just punch in $87,000. It's sad. It's sad because that someone's like, it's never good when someone gets arrested, right? So I want to say that, like, that's sad when that happens, but I think we can laugh at this. Like, this dude was trying to steal $1 million from a grocery store. That probably takes a month to make $1 million. It's crazy.
I mean, I just don't know how it went that long without anyone noticing.
I mean, people return $87,000 worth of groceries all the time, Troy. I don't know. Like, is it like not a common occurrence in your mind?
They said the guy who was supposed to be checking for this was on vacation for that period.
There was no one to back him up. He didn't have anyone to do this.
They had no depth. They're
like what's the worst that can happen? Someone's going to steal $1 million worth of food? Come on. Oh.
I mean, I feel like an $87,000 return, if that isn't enough to...
wake up, Chris.
I'm awake.
Calm down, buddy. You're here.
Chris,
you're here.
Like,
you need to be here.
I don't know why. I don't know why you guys are saying that I'm asleep. I'm not.
I'm just helping
1 minute. Chris needs to. 1 minute. Chris needs. 1 minute. Chris needs to calm down, and then the next minute, someone needs to check to see if Chris is awake. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Not even a minute, like a span of 10 seconds.
Chris, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Go ahead.
Or I'm asleep. Like, I don't know what's wrong with you people. Like,
go ahead, Chris.
Look, Chris needs his rest. Okay, he's an old guy. Give him a break.
That wasn't funny.
I apologize. I'm sorry. I'll try better next time. Try harder. Sorry.
Chris, do you want?
All right, can we get back to the theft? Because this guy like almost scored like $1 million before he got caught. Like, I still can't get over that.
I've seen something like this happen.
What? No one's saying?
No, I am saying. I
just
did
laughing.
say something.
I'm just laughing. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm done. That's all I had to say.
I've seen like something like this happen before, but not. I just don't know how it happened.
I'm just catching up with Chris. It's been 2 weeks since he's been on. I'm just getting
Chris
used to it
hard
again.
Worker. This man puts in 80 hours a week.
I know. He does.
So,
I'm
Troy,
just happy to have. I'm happy to have him back.
Chris. Back off of Chris.
I'm happy to have him back.
Yeah, back off, Troy.
Polar Sports, okay? You need to chill.
Yes.
You need to chill. Exactly. I've seen something like this happen before at a restaurant I worked at where there's these coupons that are local to the restaurant. They're like they're called Be Our Guests, right? So the managers have discretion to give them out. Like if something goes wrong, like if the food comes out wrong, it's not a coupon that the company sends out nationally or even like on a region basis. It's like, hey, look, next time $25 on us, just come in. So like in the system, it's not a barcode. It's not a specific code. The system just automatically takes it because the managers are the only ones that are supposed to have it. But this one unidentified individual kept a bunch of them and And because you don't need to get manager approval, you don't need to like hand them, like you're supposed to hand them in, but you can just enter them. So like, let's say credit card payment is $50 or a cash payment is $50. You can take $25 off of it and then pocket that $25. But that was like a couple $100. This is $1 million. How does that happen? Like this has to be multiple levels of firing, right? Like this fell through so many cracks that so many people have to be getting in trouble for this. Good feedback, guys.
No, I agree. It's to a point where you don't get fired, you get charged with a felony. Like it's pretty bad. It's not like a haha, it's kind of like oof, big mess up. It's kind of like you might face a lot of jail time because you stole $1 million. It's like a bank heist. It's like robbing a bank, but probably worse because most banks don't have $1 million cash on them. So
how do you know?
Yeah, I mean,
well, they actually do, I think. Well, Jay, what is it? 10% reserve requirement?
Yeah, it's somewhere around there. Plus, if you think of like safety deposit boxes, probably got over $1 million. But
like in the
I see
casino,
where you're coming from.
yeah, I mean, in the casino heist, after cuts, I mean, it's never that much money. Also, $1 million in GTA 5 right now is not going to get you much of anything. It kind of, Troy, it kind of reminds you, right, of that scene in what's the name of the movie? The Hangover. Yeah. Where the one guy, Troy, come on, you got me here.
Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
Yeah.
Everyone mute
anyway.
yourself. Everyone mute yourself. Let Richie go.
Promo. Throw the promo in.
I didn't upload it in time.
Bro, you didn't get my promo in here. I'll do it right now off the dome. All right. This is Richie Wellbrock, one of the hosts of Polar Music. You guys got to make sure you tune in every Friday night at 6 p.m. On Spotify and Apple Music. We talk about some of your favorite music. Hey, some of our favorite music too. Lee's favorite music. We do interviews, heated debates, my opinion, Nicholas Vincent Brazina's opinion. It's a really grand time. You gotta come check it out. We got the.
All right, that's enough from him for a little bit. So we got some.
That was awesome.
Let's
get the Nightline reach, Troy.
Let's get back to the conversation here. So yeah, $1 million, $1 million. What are you guys doing with $1 million if you stole from Kroger? First of all, I'm getting out of town.
I'll tell you this much. I am not buying a fucking Chevy Camaro. Like
Real life dollar baby. We got an interview with him. We got a couple others coming up. Kevin Walker.
I'm sorry, Austin. All right.
You get $1 million and you can buy whatever the heck you want. You're like, they're probably gonna find me at some point, so I gotta spend it now. And you bought a Chevy Camaro? Come on, dream a little bigger.
That's true. I guess he didn't want to draw too much attention to him, right?
I'm pretty sure if you just got a cold mill, like you're gonna draw some attention. You're buying $1 million worth of stuff.
So wait, what else did he buy, Jacob? Do you want to run through that again?
I don't know if it bought anything else. Oh, here he is. He bought a Chevy Camaro. He also bought another car that they didn't say what it was. Some clothes, some guns, and some shoes. So not a lot of things named specifically other than the Chevy Camaro, which he totaled.
Yeah, and he totaled it. So
yeah,
the guy wasn't a very good driver.
Anyway. He took one Chevy Camaro out of the bunch.
So Gary shared a story. He said one of his friends did something similar. He charged people the right price, but didn't ring it up. The cash would go straight to his pocket.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I feel like you get caught with that anyway because merchandise goes missing or products. But
if that's the same Johnny O I was thinking of, I think he got caught for other things than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
shout out Johnny O if you're listening.
Chris,
I don't know who that is.
Chris, you used to do this, right?
No, never.
I heard he did.
That's something that's highly illegal. Why would you assume that that's something I would do?
Well, I thought you told me one time you used to steal all the time or something.
No,
am I making that up?
True.
I feel like you said that on a pod. I feel like
you're deliberately not telling the truth here. I think you're trying to stir up conflict for no good reason.
Put it in the chat.
All right, well, let's just say you did. Yeah, let's say you did. What would you buy with it, Chris? What are you buying with that cool $980,000?
Sarsaparilla.
Well, obviously, you buy the airplane. Like, I don't know how this isn't like. I mean, come on.
I don't think you're going to get too
You gotta
far
know
on
how
an
to fly it,
airplane that only costs that much.
I mean, you could probably get
Single
away
propeller.
from local authorities, like, you know.
I
don't know.
have a feeling that airplanes is it not more expensive than just a mill?
It depends
Not
on
a
the plane.
like a-
If you're getting like a Cessna, you could get it for less.
Yeah.
If
Like,
Bobby,
it's not-
Bobby, if
you're
you're still
You're not getting a 737 as
Bobby,
much as I would like to own a 737. Awesome
no private
airplane,
jet.
highly recommend.
Bobby, if you're still listening, let me know how much a plane costs because I know you fly and stuff, or you told me you used to build like an airplane or something. So let me know how much it costs. Chris, yeah, Bobby, or one of our listeners, he's a big plane expert, kind of like you, but we don't make fun of him for it because the planes are cool.
Stop making fun of Chris. Chris is my boy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I got you, Chris.
I just looked up the 747 you said, right, Chris? It said its average price is just under 90 million. So I
Okay.
mean that's not that
Okay,
bad.
but
I mean, Chris,
I
you'll
wasn't
probably
3
talking
more
about-
months of
yeah.
work. 3 more months of work. That guy
Yeah.
would have had it.
you
All you
got
have to do is extend the guy's vacation from like 2 weeks to like 3 months, and you
Exactly.
got it.
Exactly.
Just hey man, you want to spend some more time in Florida? It's on me. Like
That was
Yeah,
that was a pretty long vacation. Wait, how long did he do?
well,
it
I mean,
for?
the guy works hard. He's entitled to his breaks, Troy.
I was 2
yeah,
weeks.
Troy. What?
Yeah,
Troy's
what the hell is wrong
anti-union.
with
Troy's
I thought it said 2 months for a
anti-union.
second.
Troy's anti-union.
I
Put that on
thought
the
it said,
banner.
what do you think? There's unions at the grocery market?
Yes, there
Yes.
are.
there is.
I'm sorry. Do you not think people that work at grocery stores deserve rights, Troy?
Wow. This.
They have the right to
Whoa.
collectively
The
bargain.
CEO of
All right.
Polar Media.
Moving on. So moving on, one of the other topics I wanted to talk about here on Deep Fried Medicine is I want to talk about the concept of motivation, right? So
All right. We'll slide over. We got other stuff to get to. I want to talk about this one. It's talking about the White House. So this is good. Austin's not back in it yet, so we can talk about this for a second.
Okay, good. We got to get this
Joe
out of the way.
Joe Biden. I'll show him for a second because he's flailing his arm. Oh, geez. This is a story after the presidential inauguration. Joe Biden and his family, they had gone to the White House to make their first entrance. This is coming from the Independent. So I will just kind of read what's going on here. Biden's left stuck outside White House on inauguration day after petty final Trump act. So the Bidens were momentarily left to wait outside the White House in an awkward moment on inauguration day, possibly as a result of a final petty act by the Trump administration. On Wednesday, Joe Biden was inaugurated as the 46th president, as we all know. Later, as the Bidens walked up the steps to enter the executive mansion at the White House, they were pausing to wave before turning to enter. The much anticipated moment fell flat as the doors failed to open and the couple was left on the doorstep. According to the National Journal, a well-placed official not associated with the incoming Biden team told the newspaper the Trumps sent the Butlers home when they left, so there would be no one to help the Bidens when they arrived. So that's the report. Apparently, the person who was responsible for letting in Joe Biden and his family was fired the day before, and there was no one to be let in. So the typical, you're fired moment from Donald Trump gets the best of the Bidens. They were only waiting outside for like 10 seconds, apparently, but usually they get let in and it's like a big entrance. But it didn't happen because the guy who does it usually fired. So are we surprised?
Not really. I mean, this is kind of the stuff that we've sadly grown accustomed to over the last 4 years. So the fact that it kind of bled over into Biden's term a bit and the man wasn't even allowed in his own house, it's kind of dumb. Really.
it's sad. It's like, I know we can laugh about it, but the reason it's funny is that where the irony is derived from in these situations is that it's the president of the United States doing these things. And it's sad because that position in this country, in this world, in this year needs to be held to a higher standard than most people. And it's just sad that we as a country, this is who we elected and this is who we are. That man was president for 4 years. And it's no, it's not surprising. He fled the state. He went down to Florida. It's sad that he took a position that whether you like the president or not, it should be a revered and respected position, right? Like you can dislike the president because of their policies, but it should really, I mean, honestly, never stem from the person. And he was just a despicable human being. And it's just really disappointing as a country. Like we have so far to go. And I think that's what the last 4 years really taught us. And I'm hopeful for the future and I'm optimistic. And there are so many good things about this country, right? And there's so many good things about people from both sides, right? Red, blue, it doesn't matter. Like humans, I do believe inherently are good, but it's just really sad that the last 4 years, we didn't see that inherently good side. And like this final fart and parting act from Donald Trump is just, it's just disappointing and disgusting to say the least. And like, even Mike Pence could, suck it up and go to the inauguration. Mitch McConnell, for all bads that you want to say about him, those things still exist. He started to play ball at the end, and that doesn't erase all the bad things he did. But I think we're going to move more towards, I really like what Joe Biden said about ending this uncivil war. I thought that was a really great quote because disagreeing on something should not lead to dissent and hate. Like it should be a disagreement that we can approach and have a conversation around. Anyway, I can go back to hating Starbucks now if you want.
If you're feeling like it. But
I love Starbucks. I really want to try that drink that Sammy was talking about. I love Starbucks.
By the way, so it's officially unclear exactly what caused the delay. So they're not saying it's positive that it's because he fired him.
Oh, well.
But usually it's opened by the Marine Guards. And the article says, notably the chief usher, Timothy Harleth, who had been scheduled to welcome the Bidens to the White House in the absence of Mr. Trump, had been also abruptly fired 5 hours earlier. So that's the official firing. Jacob, I think you're about to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do think, to get back to what Austin was saying, I do think it's a little inappropriate not to be at the inauguration. I think it's a little bit inappropriate if this was, proven to be like Trump being like, all right, we're going to get him here. But like, I also think that this article definitely poured it on a little bit thick. Like they were like, oh, they were stuck out in the cold. They were embracing with each other as their family members gathered around. And then you get down to the end and it's like, it was only for 10 seconds. Like 10 seconds. If you forget your keys in the car and you have to walk back, you're outside for like another 2 to 3 minutes. Like 10 seconds, you're stuck. Like you might be looking down to find the key on your keychain. And that's going to take you 10 seconds. Like he really like pulled the door. They're like, oh crap, we forgot to leave it unlocked for him. Enter in the security code to open the door, and he opened it. Like I think they really hyped it up for 10 seconds.
Yeah,
Jay, can I like because I know you responded to what I was saying. Like, you're totally right, and there's no argument there, right? Like it's the reaction that it caused of the consequence, I guess you could say. Like Joe Biden. Like if he can get over not having a Peloton, he can get over being locked out of the White House or whatever. But that aside, what I was talking about were the actions that led to that, right? Like being locked out for 10 seconds, you're so spot on. Like, come on, you'll be okay. And the fact that there was an article written about it, I think just goes to prove that who we had as the president for the last 4 years lends itself to that. But yes, you're totally right. Like I got locked out of my house one time. I was walking the dog. And it was freezing outside. I just had a T-shirt and sweatpants on. I had to call my wife to turn around and come back and let me in. I was sitting on the couch we had out in the garage, freezing my butt off. And I was okay. I went on. I did a good job at work that day. But you're right, Jacob.
I mean, at the end of the day, like the amount of time doesn't, really matter. Like, some things are just like you're right. Like it's your right to be able to just, if you were elected president, be able to get into the White House without any issues. It's your right to be able to use your Peloton no matter what your age may be.
Thank you.
These are all like, these are basic rights, and you can't really argue with them.
Well, if
not saying he can't use the Peloton. You're twisting my words again. All right.
Austin doesn't like old people exercising.
I'm hosting a sports show with an old person.
They could have gotten hurt. I mean, I'm kind of with Austin. I mean, Austin takes it to a pretty extreme level with hating both old people and them exercising, but I mean, they could be injured while trying to exercise or something like that.
I think Austin said something. We had to cut it out last episode. He's like, kind of like, Maybe we should shun old people aside and keep them out of society's eyes, so we don't have to.
Wow.
No, I think
that is
promo video. I think
It's
I think
graceful.
I think he said something like that. I don't
yeah,
know.
it was
know what
definitely
you want
along
from it.
those lines. I do remember that, Troy.
It's fine.
Listen, it's fine. It's fine.
It happened.
If someone's gonna say it, I was happy to kind of edit it out last episode. I didn't want to offend anyone, but it just worked out. I'm kidding. He didn't say that. But Sammy Slytherin seems to think Barron Trump was behind it. That guy is tall. That kid is like 6'5" when he was like 11 years old. I don't know if that's exact, but I'm pretty sure he was like 6'5" when he was 11. I could see him being up to something.
Does that make him more of a suspect?
The height, yeah. Tall people are suspicious. Tall people are suspicious. I'm never suspicious of Chris.
You need to stop
I mean,
attacking
I'm
my
like the
boy.
least suspicious person in here.
It's who's the most? I think Richie's the most sus.
No,
With his
no,
light
you are.
behind
No,
him.
you. No, you.
With his light
I would
behind
call
him.
the cops on Richie in like 2 seconds. Like something about him just throws me off.
Oh, look at the light up headphones.
No,
too.
Richie's a good guy. Richie's a good guy.
He is
Richie's
kind of
a very
sus.
good guy.
Let us know in the comments if Richie is sus, and if he is, we will kick him if he makes you uncomfortable. I'm slowly
uncomfortable.
waiting. All right, do I need to remove him? Should I remove him?
Yeah.
All right. We'll remove him for a second. He was making you uncomfortable. I think you're right. It was more about like the principle. The president shouldn't be having to wait outside of his door. Yeah, the wording is like a little unnecessary. It's like, really, come on. Like, it might not be Trump, but it could be tied. But like, until we don't know for a fact, so maybe let's not say it's a petty. I don't know. We don't know for sure. And it was also like 10 seconds. It wasn't like they had to go find a guy to get a locksmith and like to get in. It was like 10. No one opened the door for him. They might have had to like knock to get in. It wasn't that bad.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw he had to go find the hide key under the rock, under the fake rock. Or it was under
there's a hide key for the White House?
Yeah, dude. It's just under the mat. It's under the welcome mat. What do you
By
think
the
the
way,
welcome
Rich-
mat for the White House says?
Well, the last 4 years, it might have looked a little different than it would look like right now.
Rolls.
It might only be welcoming to certain people and maybe not to some other ones. Also, our father says this. If you're old and you're riding a bike while wearing bike pants, Austin will hit you with his car.
No, I won't.
Austin has many dents in his Subaru Forester for a reason.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it.
Well, I know not to ride a bike next to you. Well, I'm not old, I guess, but you don't want to risk it.
I rode my bike this summer to raise money to fight breast cancer. Okay, I just want to say that. Okay, I don't go out searching to hit bikes. Okay,
well, enjoy it. You only got like a few years before you hit that age limit.
Happen to pass them by and hit them. You don't go out looking for that, but that's what it turns into.
You know what? I'm just gonna go on mute the rest of the show. Have a good day. Have a good.
All right, we got another interesting story here. I thought it was kind of funny. This sounds like something that would happen to Jacob, not because he's like the most beautiful girl in the world, but because he wins things without knowing that he's like even a possible contestant. So this is from Fox News. A woman was crowned the world's most beautiful woman, and she said she didn't even know she was in the running for it. So pretty much how it was, and this is a direct quote, I didn't even know I was participating in the contest. Said Yael Shelbia. She is a young woman from Israel who was recently crowned the most beautiful in the world, and she had no idea she was even considered for the international prize. She's 19 years old. She snagged the top spot on TC Chandler's latest list that we talked about here today. She said, I was very surprised. I didn't even know I was participating in the contest, and it is very exciting and flattering. I don't know why they chose me. I think beauty is so individual, and all women are beautiful. I just think the funniest part of this article is the fact she did not know she was up for the prize, and she is now like, she won the entire prize for the entire world. And yeah, she has a pretty cool story. Before I can tell you about that first, and we'll dive into it. She grew up in a large Orthodox Jewish family in northern Israel and moved to Tel Aviv to chase her dreams of becoming a model. Since topping the TC list, Shelby has said she's since gained 200,000 new followers on Instagram, where fans can find snaps of her modeling work and daily life, as well as pictures in her military uniform. According to the outlet, Shelby was completing her mandatory military service with the Israeli Air Force when she earned the title last month.
Wow.
So, I mean, she said it is such an honor for me to serve my country. I have lots of responsibilities as an IDF soldier and public figure. And she won it while she didn't even know what was happening. So that's just it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
It is.
Thoughts on this, guys?
It's the results are obviously flawed because the most beautiful woman in the world did not win.
Oh, are you calling her ugly?
No, I'm not calling her ugly. I just think there's a woman more beautiful than her.
All right, I'm going to take it away from this.
My wife.
I'm going to take it away here and say, she must have been feeling pretty good winning this prize, not having known anything about it. And I will add to that Troy's comment saying that I could have won this award.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
That'll keep me in pretty good spirits, at least for the rest of the day.
Jacob, that's not
nowhere compared to how she.
You are a very pretty girl, Jacob. But no, what I was saying is you win things all the time. You just win like free iPads and like free tickets to concerts and games without like even entering. Meanwhile, I've never won a contest in my life. It just sounds like something that would happen to you. Jacob's gonna get named.
That's
like
true, Troy. You won back our bucket that we donated.
That's true. That's true.
At the
I won 2 buckets. I won 2 buckets.
2 buckets. Wow.
Troy, I feel like you're neglecting some of these comments. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, some of them I was.
I mean, there's some pretty good ones up there right now.
I think Jacob is beautiful. Jacob, I think you should have won it.
Austin, you were making one of our fans fall asleep here. So
I'm not. Troy, you are. You're the one driving the show. We're providing color commentary.
Chris, your thoughts on this?
I
know you had stake in this contest. I want to get your thoughts.
I had no stake in this contest. I don't know where you would get that idea. Yeah, I think it's kind of, I guess it is kind of funny that you could just win a contest that you didn't even know that you were in. Like, I don't know. That would like, I mean, not that I would be nominated for this kind of contest, but
yes, you would.
Like you're just going through your email one day. It's like, oh, by the way, you were named the most beautiful woman in the world by some organization. It'd be like, wait, what? Like, how did they get my info? How do they like judge me? Like, how did that work? I don't know. I just find the whole thing kind of odd, and I think it's kind of funny. It
kind of sounds like one of those scams. It's like, send us $1,000 and we'll make you a prince of some country.
Yes.
It's like, how did I win this?
Like, I'm stuck. It's like, it's pretending to be like a friend of yours. It's like, hey, I'm your friend. I'm stuck in this foreign country. Send money now. And then ask for your social security number. So,
yeah.
But this is legit.
Sounds like you have experience with that.
No comment.
Oh, someone's hitting on Chris here. Oh.
I think that's a burner. I have reason to believe that this is a burner.
I think it's KD's burner account. So I can't speak for sure, but I think it's one of them. So Kevin Durant, breaking news: Kevin Durant thinks Chris Sakonis is hot.
He's not my type.
No cap.
Well, listen, I'm just glad KD shows up for work.
Dude, look, Chris, I know this is going to take us off topic here. Kyrie Irving did that whole thing on purpose because the only way they were able to get James Harden and not give up Kyrie Irving was if he tanked his trade value. Same thing with James Harden. They both tanked their trade values. It was on purpose, without a doubt. No.
Hey, listen, if they win a championship, all will be forgiven.
They won't, but it'll be.
All right, we'll save this fight for Mondays when you can listen to Polar Sports, the premier sports podcast on the internet.
Coming this Monday.
Troy, cut that promo.
Coming this Monday.
It's coming this Monday. I know we've said it's coming this Monday for an entire 4 past months, but it's coming this Monday.
Hey, I'm sorry.
This time is the real one.
Are the hardest working people on this podcast. Okay. We have calluses on our calluses. No cap.
Listen, buddy, I run and help run with my other amazing co-host Nick Brzezina the most popular and just prosperous, amazing, sexy, smells good, tastes good podcast out of all of the Polar Media brand. Polar Music,
Richie,
is.
Where do you meet your guests? Where have you predominantly met your guests?
Listen, I have a
single guest
confidentiality agreement with any of my guests.
Guest
that
singular
appear on our show.
From ShopRite. You met them in the deli section at ShopRite.
Hey, I like your meat. You want to come on my podcast?
Chris didn't even know he was a singer at first. Or Richie didn't even know he was a singer at first. He was just
I talk to everybody. I just talk to people,
true.
you know?
You're getting roast beef? You want to come on my podcast?
Yeah, I was like, yo, dude, nice roast beef. Like, I heavily fuck with roast beef. Like, I love that stuff. And then he's like, really? You look like the kind of guy that would have a podcast. And I was like, funny you should say that. You look like the kind of guy that makes music. And he was like, wow, are we going to kiss here? And I was like, no, but you want to be on my pod?
That's how Richie met Kanye West.
Yeah, Kanye's coming on too.
Kanye likes roast beef.
That's a good point in the chat. I think that is a good point.
Whoa. Get this out of here.
Richie be like, that's a good point. It reminds me of this movie, but before I talk about the movie, Polar Music Fridays.
He plugs his stuff right.
That's why he's number one. That's why he's number one. That
is why we're number one, baby.
Well, some would argue this is the staple show of Polar Media, so this is kind of the number one show.
You?
Yeah. Well, I'm the CEO and the founder, so my opinion matters the most.
You can't even keep Robert Baxter in check. That man's about to get so many copyright infringement lawsuits shoved down our throat. And
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it for him.
He's not going to get anything on air. The kid has no idea what he's doing. It's not going to happen. I'm trying to talk some sense into you as the chief operations officer, and you're not heeding my advice. So you know what? It's your ship. You want to steer it directly into the iceberg? Go ahead. I'm not going to be like Leonardo. I'm going to get on the door and fly.
Chris, your thoughts on this before we wrap it up? I don't want to get into a full Polar Media team meeting before we.
They want to hear it. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. We need to have this meeting on air right now.
I really don't think this is appropriate. If you have a problem, you should bring it up with HR.
That is
Nick Brzezina.
Yeah. He runs the HR department.
Bring it up with HR. Nikki likes Robert Baxter, so you're fine.
I mean, who doesn't like Robert Baxter?
Yeah,
He's a great
guy.
guy.
I love Robert Baxter.
It is pretty funny. Well,
wait till
guys,
to call a wrestling match.
I think the last story.
That's when he's really at his best.
Wait until you have to call a wrestling match in general, because that's an experience.
You would know, Troy.
Guys. I thought this final story. No, I wouldn't know. I've never done it. I thought this final story was funny. I thought it was funny that someone could win a international prize that's that big without knowing they are participating. Jacob, final conclusion is that you are also a very pretty girl and who is capable of winning this contest. So
Jacob,
good for you. Richie, you are a walking commercial. Austin had to be kicked out of the chat more than anyone else tonight. Chris still likes airplanes. And I am the CEO of Polar Media, and Robert Baxter's not getting kicked out yet. We'll have to see how many times he gets banned from Twitch before we do that. But yeah, I think this was a good episode. I like the content we got to, guys. I appreciate everyone coming back on. Anyone have any final thoughts before we wrap this one up? Quick final thoughts.
Just
Chris, give me your quick final thought. Go ahead.
Polar Sports Monday night. Be there. It's going to be the best podcast on this company yet.
Oh God!
No plugging. You're not allowed to plug.
Now Chris is banned because he plugged. He plugged. He wasn't allowed to plug.
No, I thought it was.
Again, this was. Can we just talk? Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
That's fine.
Wait, hold on. I'll step.
Again, this has been Can We Just Talk? Tune in every Friday night at around 7 or 8 p.m. where we kind of have some topics, but we don't really tend to talk about them very much. It's really not a very good podcast. Troy, you should probably do this part.
Yeah. This was Can We Just Talk? I appreciate everyone for coming on. Jacob Berg, Troy DeSuino, Austin DeSuino, Chris Sakonis, Richie Welbrock. We got more content coming out. If you missed part of the episode, the full episode will be available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, as well as YouTube if you want the video. Just keep up with everything that was happening, some of the inside jokes. Thanks for listening, and we'll get some more content out there soon. So again, this was Can We Just Talk?
Can we hang